Hi everyone, Alan Nichols here with Maxhub, here to tell you more about our XT10 VB kit for Microsoft Teams rooms and how to install it and configure it. I've actually brought a couple more pieces for our WS kit here just to show you, but we're going to get into more details about that kit in a later video. After this video, if you do have more questions or you need a demo, feel free to contact me, contact your local Maxhub representative, or even work with your local IT services or AV services provider, and we'd love to get on the phone with you. So today, I'm going to be installing this in my office and connecting it to my 65-inch interactive flat panel that I have mounted here. I've skipped ahead a little bit, and I've already done the wall mounting for the SO7 video bar and the X-Core kit. So without any further ado, let's get in a little bit closer and let's show you how this works. All right, let's get started mounting our SO7 video bar. So I have already run my USB and I've already run my power here. But if you look on the back of the SO7, you also have the option to use power over Ethernet on here. So we're not going to be using PoE today. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking the tray, and remember the screw goes through here to lock the video bar to the tray. I'm going to be hanging my tray on the plate that I've already mounted. I'm going to be connecting my data, connecting my power. I'm going to be sliding this onto the tray, making sure that it is centered, taking my screw and locking this to the tray. And we're done. Now we have a video bar mounted. Now let's take care of hooking up the USB Type-C to our touch panel. So on the back of the touch panel, you're going to have a little magnetic door right here. All you have to do, pull that off, grab your wire mount right here, pull that out, take your USB Type-C cable that you've already ran, plug it into the back, lock it in, put your cable lock in, and replace the door. And your panel is now ready to go. Now let's mount our X-Core kit. So what I've already done is I've already run all my cables. I have my USB for my peripherals, including my USB for my touch panel. I have my Ethernet. I have my USB Type-C for the touch panel, my HDMI for the display, and my power cord. All these are actually going to be locked into this tray right here. So let's take these screws out. Remove our wire lock from the tray. So on this side, you're going to see that we have one USB Type-C port, and that's a dedicated port that's going to be for your touch panel. You have your HDMI output right here and 4 USB 3.0 ports, your Ethernet, and your power. I'm going to turn the unit around now, and I'm going to get everything wired in, and then we're going to skip to mounting it on the wall. Now that we have the X-Core cabled, I can take my clamp, slide it over the cable lock, and tighten down the screws. And when I tighten down these screws, it's going to stop these cables from having any ability to be pulled out. So now I have both strain relief, and you can unmount and mount this for any kind of maintenance that you need without having to unhook everything first. So you can see these locks have to be vertical. And what that allows you to do is grab the X-Core kit, get your cables tucked behind here, and click it to the wall. And that's all there is to it. When you first power your unit on, you're going to come into the setup screen here. So I'm going to select English. I'm in the United States, so I'm going to select that. Yes. Nope. No need to add another keyboard layout. And now the unit's going to check for updates to see if there is any new updates for the unit as it's been released and shipped to you. So we're going to pause right here, let it run through its updates, because this may take a few minutes. And through the magic of time travel and or video editing, all the updates are done, and now we're at the setup screen. So you're going to want to agree to the end user license agreement. And now you're going to want to enter in the user account you created in your Office 365 tenant. And this account is actually going to be a resource account, and you're going to have a Microsoft Teams Room Basic or Pro license on it, depending on what kind of room it's going to go in and the features that you need. And now that you've set your account up, now we're going to go through the rest of it. I'm going to leave voice activation on. I don't have any special circumstances on my setup, so I'm just going to use the same Exchange sign-in as you did with the account. And now you can finish. Once you press finish, it's going to take a second. It's going to sign in. You can see the purple bar up at the top with our little famous Microsoft spinny thing. Now it's loading up the services. Now we're all logged in. And now your MTR is ready to schedule and ready to make presentations with. Now, if you're an organization that gets sent a lot of third-party meetings, when I say third-party, I'm saying non-Microsoft Teams. So when we're looking at Zoom, WebEx, or BlueJeans, we can do what's called a direct guest join with this unit. So we're going to go into more. We're going to go into settings, and your default administrative password on this is going to be SFB, like Skype for Business, in all lowercase letters. We'll close the keyboard. We're going to go into the Meetings tab. We're going to scroll down here where it says third-party meetings, and we're going to enable all three of these. And now when I hit save and exit, it's going to have to reboot the unit. But now what you'll be able to do is forward all these third-party meetings to your device. So if somebody sends you a Zoom meeting, you can forward it to your MTR's account. It'll book it, and it'll give you a one-click join for this meeting. Now, before we reboot it, if you are going into a room that, say, has a Surface Hub or a second MTR, you can also do a coordinated meeting where if you invite this unit to the meeting, it'll automatically join another one to the meeting. Now we're going to dive into the peripherals. So if you do have multiple devices hooked up, say you're using a third-party audio device, or you want the monitor to actually play the default system sounds, you can set your default speaker here. For this one, I'm actually going to set it up for my SO7. So I have everything coming through my SO7. If you have a content camera for physical whiteboarding, you can also select it here. Now that it's all configured, it's all hooked up, your MTR is ready to go. So now all we have to do, schedule a meeting. Now click join. Thanks everyone for taking the time to go through setting up the XT10 VB kit with me today. I had a great time, and I hope to talk to you all soon.